All right, sap green, raw umber, white. I'm going to mix sap green, take sap green, put some raw umber in it, just to make it more earthy. Because that's when you have in the vase, you have lots of stems in there. It kind of sometimes, depending on how many you have in there, it turns a bit kind of a darker green than what you see outside the vase. But in this case, I think the dark green that we see is a result of the brown table, which the vase is on that brown table right now. So that's why. So anyway, it doesn't matter. We're just going to make, first of all, make your colors a bit more watery, not heavy, because that's what transparency is all about, and water. It's not heavy. This is now same. I'll show you in a minute what I mean. Okay, don't just follow me with. This is the same color, but I added white, so I'm gonna make this part tiny bit wider, lighter. So what I'm trying to do is make one side lighter than the other.
You do this no matter what color of table or background. You use that green.
Yes, regardless right now, regardless of what the table is right now. We haven't started doing the color, introducing the colors of the table, not yet. So now I have here a dark, right? So I'm just gonna make sure that I adjust the value of this dark because it's drying darker. So I don't want it to be too dark.
Layal, did you say that the left side would have been lighter where the light?
Yes, I did. Yes, you're right, Astero. I did mention this, but in this case where I am kind of trying to follow what I see in the in the reference, and trying to make it look like glass, I will have to ignore tiny bit what's happening in there. You'll see in a minute. So if we do, I highlighted this area, right here. I made it lighter green. You'll see in a minute. It will work. It will work. It would just kind of. So this is a bit lighter in terms of green, right there. And this is darker right there in the back. The back one is darker. Now, I'm going to start introducing as well. Before putting the stems in, you don't really have to put the stems even. You just kind of bluff your way into this thing here. So I'm going to take ultramarine violet because this is what I have in the background there. And I have yellow as well. So I'm going to tone down my ultramarine violet using Naples yellow.
It almost looks like the same soft green that you were using.
The same sap green?
The soft green, like the
The
light
soft.
color green.
Yes, so the value is very close. It's very close to each other, the value. It's not too far off.
Okay, so it needs more yellow.
You need, yeah, yes, you need more yellow. So by doing this right now, what I'm doing is I am trying to kind of give the illusion of the bottom of the vase right here. I'm going to take, because I see yellow here. I'm going to take Naples yellow. So what I'm trying to do here is try to use the color of the yellow that I'm using right now, the Naples yellow at the bottom. And we're going to do, this is just a bunch of colors we're putting right now. But what we're going to do is once we put the stem in, the stems or the stem, we're going to play around a bit more with this.
Yes,
Just a,
maybe.
this is now cerulean blue. Do you see all of the colors I'm putting are just kind of soft colors. Nothing is jumping out. Nothing is heavy, strong. It's all kind of really soft colors. A proper way of learning how to do this is to get reference that has a clear bottom part, so we can follow that and it makes sense. Usually the bottom of the vase is on the kind of brownish, greenish part. Usually that's what you see the reflection. That's the first layer. Then I'll highlight that. I'll highlight it and put some reflections in there. There. I'm going to put the stems and I'll stop. And I'll wait for you and then we'll continue with the highlights after. So this is the first layer, no highlights, just the first layer of all of the colors that we want to put in there. Okay, so once one or two, let's say going this way. Another one here. Third one. I'll change the color and the position. I'm adding a couple more. And just a couple of leaves in between. Good. Okay, so let's take green now. And the same green that we were talking about before, the just sap green, maybe a touch of raw umber or not, just white and green, and make it a bit transparent, not transparent, kind of fluid, runny.
So it's white and green?
Yes, green and white. I know this is not what you're seeing there, but I'm showing you another, like a way of doing this. Transparency. In between those stems, I am highlighting the green in there a bit, in between the stems. So that will.
Oh, you're highlighting in between. I thought you were going to highlight these stems.
No, not yet, not yet. In between the stems, I'm highlighting.
And if it's a brown table, I should do like a light brown.
Well, you see, I think you should still do some of the green up here. And when you get down where the table is, right here,
Yeah,
you highlight with the light green, light brown. You know what I
Okay.
mean?
yeah, got it.
Okay.
Are you highlighting both on the left and the right side?
No, just this side, mostly this side. I'm going to leave this for now. The highlight is not, the light that you see is not all the way down. It's mostly at the top. You start at the top part, and before you get to the bottom, you leave it. You don't highlight the whole thing. You know what I mean? Like it looks like a strong light coming through, but it's just to make it look like a strong light coming through. If you highlight this from here to here, the same, it's going to be a block. It's not going to look like it's watery. So you need to do that strong highlight, whitish highlight, light green over here. And when you get to the down here to the bottom, don't highlight. Just leave it the way it is. No strong highlights in there. Good. All right. This is yellow ochre. I'm just going to take yellow ochre and add it here to the green and white.
Green. Okay.
So when you're doing this, don't think about this is a leaf, this is a stem, this is a. It doesn't have to be. It doesn't have to look real. You are looking at shapes right now, and if the shape looks good, color is right, you're good.
Okay, I'm confused about the yellow ochre, adding it to the green and white.
Why? It's this for the stems.
Oh, are you doing the stems now?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Sorry. I'm going too fast, I know. I'll stop in a minute.
You get excited.
It's a momentum. I can't
Yes.
stop.
I know. I noticed that yesterday in class. You just couldn't stop.
I couldn't stop. Yeah, I just kind of, I'm there. I can't just turn around like it and get, and I most of the time, to tell you the truth, most of the time I don't realize what I'm doing. I'm just there. You know what I mean? Like I don't do it on purpose. I just kind of work and I can't stop myself. I don't know how to explain it.
You're in the moment.
Yeah, you're in a roll.
You're in a role.
Uh, So what I did is I put a line here, imaginary line right there. And I darkened right here and right there to create that edge of the vase right here. And then the highlighted green part is right here. Okay.
So you use the green and white to do the edge there? Is that what you are saying?
I used green and burnt umber diluted here, just to create that line. Did you see that? Do you see that line?
Yes, yes.
It looks like the edge of the. So this is what I did. I just used darker green.
Green.
So the bottom of the vase right here reflects the base. It's the Naples yellow that I have right there. Then over this, there's a glaze of a very soft green on top, because that's what water is going to do. It's going to create that reflection of green over the transparency, and the bottom of the vase, of course, because the thickness of the glass is going to create that that kind of reflection or colored in there. So oops, change. I'll do it again. This is Naples yellow and white. And it has some water in there, so it's not heavy and thick. I'm just reshaping some of this, some of the stems in there, defining them a bit. I don't want to define them too much. This is a Naples yellow and white, but because it has water, it's transparent, so you could still see the green that I've added in there. You want me to stop? Or shall I do the bottom of the?
Maybe a minute or two.
Okay, let me know. So we glazed the vase to push everything in to make it look like it's behind glass with green and white, and it's a transparent. A bit of white in your green and transparency there for to make it look it's sitting behind glass. Now, I picked up green, sap green, a touch of raw umber and white. It's right here. And I'm doing the bottom of the vase. I'm gonna add slowly more white to the same. And I'm gonna come here and where I think the light is, I put some more highlighted green in here. More white again. Of course, with acrylics, you want to wait for it to dry so you can adjust your highlight because, of course, it dries darker all the time.
Hmm.
Green and white, did you say?
Yeah, green and white and a touch of raw umber in it. Just a very small amount of raw umber.
Oh boy.
Switching to round brush, small round brush. Picking up some white and touch of green in there. And I'm doing some little kind of dots of reflection in the glass. One of those as well, I'm going to take green and white. And I'm going to do the side. Mm. Whenever I see an area where it's solid, I'm going to try to solid color in there. I'm going to try to get some reflection going in there. So I'm seeing here,
Holly?
this
wanna go?
part needs to be tiny bit darker, maybe in here.
Green. Hmm. Oh, um, okay.
All right, so the very, very bottom of the vase where it sits on the table, I'm just gonna put a darker, I mixed ultramarine violet with a bit of raw umber. And I watered down my color, so it's not heavy. That helps with the anchor, the vase, and at the same time, it makes it look more, the glass looks better because it's against something dark. Sorry, I have to turn this around for a minute. Okay, I'm going to soften this with watered down dark gray, or I mean ultramarine violet, and see in a minute how it will look. So when I turn around, this is really heavy, strong, where the vase is touching the table. But when you move away from it a bit, I glazed my color, so it doesn't look like it's really like a heavy piece.
Is that the bottom of the vase or is that the
Yes.
shadow of the vase?
That's the bottom of the vase creating a shadow over the table where it's sitting, right?
So
I just
that's-
didn't want it
that-
to be floating.
So it's the dark part is the shadow, not the
Yes.
vase.
No, the shadow of the vase. Yes. No, not the vase. It's the shadow. Yes.
Sorry, and what were the colors that you used?
I used ultramarine violet with a bit of raw umber. Ultramarine violet and raw umber. It doesn't, as long as it's like a grayish dark, something dark in there.
And it's watery?
Yes. You want me to give you time for next project instead of finishing this week and starting a new one? Just kind of wait and we finish this next week.
What do we have left to do?
The green.
Green,
the-
oh, on the leaves and stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, let's finish it next week. At least that's what I would like.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea.
Besides the fact that I'm way behind